There was no rave event after, like at Turning Point.
What?
Rave event at Turning Point. Turning Point is supposed to be this whole Christian values first movement, right? I'm pretty sure that's what they try and dress it up as. I could have sworn that's what it was supposed to be. And one of Charlie's things is that he wanted to be known more so for his faith than anything else, right? And mind you, I've said it multiple times on this channel so far, like I have my own personal relationship with God, but I'm not a very, religious person. I won't say I'm not spiritual anymore, but somebody called me on that the other day. I'm not a very religious person. So I don't care if you go out to the club. I don't care if you rave. I don't care if you take some party favors, you know what I'm saying? Have sex outside of marriage. Shit, homosexuality, whatever. I don't care about none of that. And in your hatred on another group, but this is what you're doing when the cameras aren't on. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't care that they're doing it, but the fact that they're trying to demonize all these other people, but behind closed doors, you getting your freak on, doing whatever it is you do. A lot of these people are getting more and more exposed nowadays, but this is just wild. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Trey.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Back at it with another video.
Another one.
First and foremost, thanks to everybody that's been subscribing. Obviously, I'm a new YouTuber, and it really means a lot. I appreciate all the love and support y'all are showing me. And yeah, I'm new at this thing. I'm gonna continue to grow, continue to get better, so I appreciate it. And if y'all are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get this thing even larger. Today we're going to be reacting to a video on the Adam Moakler channel, but it's actually a video from Chris Maori. Chris Maori fills in for Adam every now and again on the show, and he's talking about this Ashley St. Clair. I think she's one of Elon Musk's baby mamas, but she's also was a MAGA influencer for a while, so she's letting a lot of tea go here lately. And she's talking about some stuff that, how the pipeline of the MAGA influencer goes and how they spread information via like talking points and things of that nature. But that's all we're going to say to start up the video. Let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, guys, let's talk about Ashley St. Clair, the former MAGA individual who has now been coming out and exposing a lot of what we see on this side of the aisle, especially as it relates to influencers. Ashley St. Clair confirmed the White House runs group chats telling these accounts what to post. Within minutes of shots fired tonight, referring to the White House Correspondents Dinner, before there was any news of casualties and before the president said this exact point, this was the chat in real time. And it's literally every major right-wing account you could possibly think of tweeting that this is why we need Trump's ballroom. This is why we need to build Trump's ballroom. This is why we need Trump's ball.
This is one of the many reasons why I don't believe this was a real assassination attempt. I think there was never any real danger. Like, sure, the guy obviously had weapons and all that good stuff, and he's going to be arrested. Well, he's been arrested. He's going to be tried, sentenced, all of that stuff. But to go about it the way that he was going about it, unless he was planning on just shooting his way through Secret Service, I don't see how his plan was supposed to end in him getting close to the president or being able to target any of the people that was on this list that he may have had for this manifesto. So that's where I call bullshit, but that's enough for me.
Room. Now you know why the left is suing to block Trump's ballroom. I don't want to hear one more criticism of Trump's ballroom. It's the same thing. Build the White House ballroom, 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 ballroom. And I'm going to show you the video where Ashley St. Clair started talking about this just the other day. And I want to show you some other stuff from Ashley St. Clair because she has been just exposing all of these MAGA influencers. And I like Ashley St. Clair. I do. I think that she has, she used to be MAGA. She had a thing with Elon Musk. She actually had a child with Elon Musk. Elon Musk treated her like shit. She's around my age. I'm 24. She might be a little bit older than me. And I actually think she's being very genuine. I think that there's a lot of kind of grifters in this field who are BSing and flip-flop sides and all that. But I actually think that she's finding her way as a young person. That's not always the easiest thing to do. So let's hop right into this. Although you could disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. Let's start with this video right here from Ashley St. Clair. Everything in MAGA is fake, staged, and coordinated. Take a listen.
So last week, I told you guys that all of MAGA is paid and they coordinate their messaging in lockstep via group chats. And what do you know? All of these people came to the conclusion that after they saw what happened at the White House Correspondents Dinner, their first thought was all independently, Trump needs his ballroom. The statistical likelihood of this happening in a vacuum, if we are to stipulate that these people are not coordinated, the statistical likelihood of this happening, that they all came to the same conclusion, not probable, okay? I think it's also important to note that one of the main group chats in which they coordinate this messaging is literally called Fight, Fight, Fight after the attempt on Trump's life in Butler. Okay, and this has the official Trump War Room, members of the administration, including James Blair, and all your favorite MAGA influencers.
What do you mean by that?
Again, I know there's a lot of speculation with the whole Butler assassination attempt and things of that nature. I think whether that was a false flag or not, I think there was a good chance he was still going to win that election. I think this definitely helped, whether it was real or not. But using that as the group chat, not to mention fight, fight, fight is kind of weird. Anyway, I don't know, man. That's my conspiracy brain. You take it or leave it. I just think all of that's weird. Fight, fight, fight. And then now we're going to use that as the title of the group chat now that it's a thing, now that it took off.
And I would log on and show you more of these messages, but I can't log on to Twitter because they're suing me for $75,000.
Wow, that is absolutely nuts. She literally shows the screenshot here, fight, 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 where all of this coordinated message goes on. And it actually makes sense when you think about it, because we've seen some things that suggest, at least very broadly, this side of the aisle is easily duped. It's a good place to focus on making money, unmasking the fake MAGA accounts, stolen photos, and digital lies. Here's some photos here. A network of fake accounts are posing as young American women and posting pro-Trump content online, but they're hiding behind and in some cases manipulating the images of European fashion influencers. Meet Eva, she lives in the US. She likes hanging out at the beach and posting to her 8,000 plus followers on Twitter. At a quick glance, her profile reveals she has strong opinions against the LGBTQ plus community and the Democratic Party. She reshares posts from Elon Musk, as a conspiracy theorist, Alex Jones, etc. The problem is she doesn't exist in real life. The blonde-haired woman on this X profile is not this pro-Trump person, but a random Danish fashion influencer whose images have been taken from her Instagram and used without her permission. And this has happened quite a bit in the MAGA sphere. We also talked about very recently how we learned about all these AI accounts that are, especially over Twitter and Instagram, that have literally, one of them garnered 1 million followers on Instagram. And it was just a total AI blonde girl pretending to hang out with.
So real quick, because I've been seeing a bunch of them videos talking about the AI, MAGA, the bots, the AI created accounts and stuff like that. And I think my only take that I want to add to the conversation is it's a common thing for a lot of these hardline conservatives, right? Like not just like your everyday Republican that, they just vote Republican just because they've always voted Republican. They grew up Republican. I'm talking about the hard line conservative MAGA voter. If you buy into a lot of the things that MAGA is supposed to represent, a lot of the bigotry and the misogyny and the hatred, discrimination, and all those things, if you buy into all of that, right, you, for the most part, are a very lonely individual or you just find a bunch of other people that are just as hateful. 90% of that group of people are males, right? There are some women that are in that atmosphere now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they got there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to be an individual situational basis, but it's predominantly males. So this need for companionship and, being lonely in this atmosphere, this is what kind of breeds that type of camaraderie. These were probably dudes that were outsiders when they were growing up for whatever reason, who knows what reason. And then they find a group that just happens to be a hateful type group, but they don't really care. They kind of ignore the hatred because they want to bond. They want that companionship, that group mentality. They've been so alone for however many years because they were outcasts, being a weirdo, being whatever the thing was that got them outcast. And they find their group and they're just sticking to that group. You see it when you see the documentaries talking about people that are in these Nazi groups and white supremacy groups and things of that nature. Every one of them, they just seem like lonely, miserable dudes. And then once they get exposed to another minority, I believe there's a documentary where the lady that was interviewing everybody, I want to say she was Indian. Ultimately, a lot of the people she was interviewing that were part of these white nationalist groups, these KKK groups, you could see how they started to break because of the conversations that they were having with her and how they started to view her as a friend or not like everything that they had been told and told to believe. I know I went on a little rant for that. All that to say, like, these dudes are lonely and, just surrounded by other lonely dudes that get them further down the rabbit hole. So they're willing to believe that AI is falling in love with them or they got a chance with some AI chicks.
Trump, be pro MAGA. And that dude who ran that account made a bunch of money. Let's take a look at this follow-up from Ashley St. Clair. Take a listen.
At no point did I say that what happened at the White House Correspondents Dinner was a false flag operation, but no, I'm kidding. Am I? I don't know. But I did just say that MAGA coordinates messaging in group chats and that it's super weird that they're all talking about the ballroom, which, okay, there's one of two options. Either you're all in a cult and you're so fucking stupid that you can't come to your own opinions, or you're coordinating it with the group chats that I literally showed screenshots of existing and that are named after one of the assassination attempts. And now, Washington Post, by the way, fuck you, trying to frame it as if I'm contributing to some, false flag rhetoric. Do you want me to expose what they're doing or no?
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, Ashley St. Clair said nothing because there's a lot of heat around, you're claiming the shooting wasn't real. And that's not what she said at all. She literally just said, look, they're coordinating the messaging after this around the ballroom. It is oddly specific to be talking about the ballroom, and it's also so dumb because if the ballroom existed last week, the White House Correspondents Dinner would not have been hosted in the ballroom. The White House Correspondents Dinner is put on by the White House Correspondents Association, which is separate from the White House. So if the ballroom existed, the White House Correspondents Dinner would not have been on White House grounds. It would have been somewhere else. So you start to add up these points, and it's very clear that this was coordinated messaging, by the campaign. Again, this was one of the people I was talking about. It is so easy to dupe this side. Thousands are swooning over this MAGA dream girl, but she's not real. This photo that I'm showing you here, I apologize, I'm moving the screen so you can see kind of all of this. Well, this is not a real photo. This is AI generated. That's not a real person. But again, an AI person, has garnered so many followers. Army blonde Jessica Foster has gained more than 1 million followers since she began posting on Instagram 4 months ago. That's insane. But Foster is an illusion, a fake woman who experts say was probably created by AI, definitely created by AI. Again, these are the type of photos we're posting here. That's Trump and her and Vladimir Putin. That's her, Zelensky and Trump. Again, all not real. Foster has posed with an F-22 Raptor fighter jet, donned camouflage in the desert and walked a tarmac with President Trump on the first day of strikes on Iran. There's no public record of Foster's military service, and the account, despite not being labeled as AI, is packed with indicators that she is fake. A handful of right-wing accounts mixing patriotism with softcore, that word I can't say, but essentially not a lot of clothing on and mixing that with patriotism.
Like I said, lonely. Like, yeah, I might do a video to share some stuff with y'all. But there's a guy that pretty much came out, like, he's from India, and he created this account, pretty much put himself through college using the money that he was getting from this account. He created a AI female, whatever the case may be, made a bunch of money off of it. And all he did was generate the images and the videos, same type of thing they're talking about here. And yeah, he would just talk about, Christ is king, no trans and women's sport, like just all of the one-liner talking points. And yeah, people were eating it up, like millions of views. I think he had created AI to use for these other sites, these X-rated sites. And yeah, people would pay for photos and videos and things of that nature. And yeah, I'm just saying, this is a sad day where, yeah, like just lonely, miserable people can't interact with people, like, in everyday circles, out in the open. You can't just be a normal, respectful human being and interact with people. And because of that, because you've done that, you've isolated yourself to the point to where now you're being taken advantage of. And it's good for me. I find it hilarious. I hope you spent your life savings on the AI chicks. But yeah, that doesn't help me in the future, that when, the future of us trying to rebuild this society, rebuild this country back to one of respect and mutual respect and camaraderie and fucking just human decency. Yeah, maybe you just stay isolated in your little bubble. Let the rest of us fucking make things better.
Are you serious?
Are using fake women and convincing imagery to grab viewers across a distracted internet, monetize their interest, and score political points. 1.3 million likes on this. Again, so many just like MAGA, I assume older men saying, oh my God, like, look how she's so attractive, let me like, and she's MAGA. And that person is making tons of money on Instagram, and they can move these people over to a paid platform where they can, essentially pay for extra content that, again, is not real because this is an AI person. Ashley St. Clair's been posting so much, so I want to show you some other stuff she's exposed from MAGA really quickly. My name is Chris Maori. I do a daily video here on the Adam Moakler channel. It'd mean a lot. Check out my YouTube channel right down below, and make sure you're subscribed here on the Adam Moakler channel. Really goes a long way. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's take a listen.
MAGA is so mad that there's conspiracy theories about this assassination. I am old enough to remember that when Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked and had his home broken into by a man with a hammer, that Republicans were saying it was a gay lover's quarrel. The Orange Oompa Loompa himself promoted a claim that Joe Biden that he died in 2020 and was replaced by a robotic clone. These are the same people that did a press conference saying that Tylenol causes autism. My personal favorite is when...
Oh, you know what? Every now and again, I'm watching some news and stuff like that, and just with everything going on and how quick everything, you can't harp on one thing long enough. You can't really dig into it and unpack it and really break down what the hell is going on. I've already forgot. Well, not forgot. It just wasn't at the front of my brain that we had the whole breaking news. Like, stay tuned. We got a major medical announcement, and then Tylenol causes autism. Acetaminophen. Is that right?
Check this out, though. First of all, you're throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect.
When the pedo president decided to try to say that the Epstein files were completely made up by Obama. I mean, Trump's most trusted and sane advisor, Laura Loomer. I'm old enough to remember when she killed Joe Biden and Jimmy Carter in the same day. It's not so funny now that it's happening to you boys. Now it...
That is a really good point. The fact that MAGA is so upset about this, about the idea that there are conspiracy theories floating, as if they haven't promoted the most outrageous, consistent conspiracy theories over 10 years. And again, it's the same with the violent rhetoric conversation, as if Donald Trump didn't say about Robert Mueller, a decorated Vietnam vet and a man who served at the FBI. 3 weeks ago, when Robert Mueller passed away from old age, he said, Robert Mueller is dead. Good, I'm glad he's dead, because he's Donald Trump's perceived political opponent. That's the president of the United States. These people don't have standards at all. And again, I don't believe the shooting was staged. It makes no sense for the shooting to be staged, okay? They haven't gained anything from it. If the whole point of staging a shooting is to, promote a ballroom, I mean, they could do that anytime. They do that all the time. I don't think Donald Trump really needs a justification for that. But still, to that point, the fact that, oh my God, there's conspiracy theories. It's like, yeah, you've built this culture. This was a clip I really, really liked. Ashley St. Clair talking to some people here you might be familiar with, some great content creators, talking about how the Republican circles, the parties are like so insane. And she was always told the left are the people who are debaucherous, if you will. Debauch, is that right? Let me know in the comments down below. The left drinks and parties and has sex. Oh my God, when in reality, it's the opposite. Republicans are going around going insane and, throwing these raves, and they're all cheating on each other, and it's crazy. And the left is not that. Take a listen.
I have a bag of badges from all the events I did with these people. Okay. And so I've been to my fair share of Republican events, and they are all debaucherous. The drinking, the substances, the sex, the this, the that. And recently, I've started going to different events that are more center or left. I went to the World Forum, which is an event with Hillary Clinton, and I spoke about AI governance and AI architect and regulation. And everyone I met there had a family or was leaving early to go see their kids. And nobody was like, hey, you want to hit the club after, like it was with when I would go to these Republican events. There was no rave event after, like at Turning Point.
What? Rave event at Turning Point. Turning Point is supposed to be this whole Christian values first movement, right? I'm pretty sure that's what they try and dress it up as. I could have sworn that's what it was supposed to be. And one of Charlie's things is that he wanted to be known more so for his faith than anything else, right? Mind you, I've said it multiple times on this channel so far, like I have my own personal relationship with God, but I'm not a very, religious person. I won't say I'm not spiritual anymore, but somebody called me on that the other day. I'm not a very religious person. So I don't care if you go out to the club. I don't care if you rave. I don't care if you take some party favors, you know what I'm saying? Have sex outside of marriage, shit, homosexuality, whatever. I don't care about none of that.
Who the hell cares?
But when you make it a point that this is such a major thing in your persona, that your whole organization that you're trying to pass off, you're trying to demonize people, you're trying to shun people, point out for other people to hate a certain group of people, that's when I'm going to call bullshit, and that's when I'm going to call out the hypocrisy, and that's when I have issue with it. I don't have a problem with you being that person, but don't use that faith and that Christianity to weaponize it against other people and to brainwash others to follow you and in your hatred on another group. But this is what you're doing when the cameras aren't on. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't care that they're doing it, but the fact that they're trying to demonize all these other people, but behind closed doors, you getting your freak on, doing whatever it is you do. A lot of these people are getting more and more exposed nowadays, but this is just wild.
Wait, there are Turning Point raves? Stop right there.
Yes, James O'Keefe does a Make America Rave Again event after all of the Turning Point events.
The party of traditional values, folks. That's the party of traditional values, that the left is this or that. They don't believe anything they say. The hypocrisy is stunning.
So I'm going to stop it there because he's about to go into the Ashley St. Clair, Benny Johnson thing. And I've already reacted to that. But definitely, if y'all haven't heard about the Ashley St. Clair and Benny Johnson beef, definitely go over to the Adam Moakler show and y'all can watch the rest of this video. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think. This is some wild stuff, man. I just can't believe that this happened. I don't believe that it happened, and I don't know what the major play is, but I've let y'all in on my conspiracy brain and what I think some of the stuff has to do with. But y'all let me know in the comments section if y'all learned something from the video. Make sure y'all share it with your people. Keep the information flowing, keep the conversation going, and until next time, I'll holla at you.
I pop out, they go wild, so celebrity. Too busy winning, I forgot that I got friends.